of several hundred people who are at this moment doing a meditative exercise based on her writings, animal, vegetable, and mineral. It's a new curriculum for Unitarian Universalists, trying to help us understand more deeply and carefully our place in this wonderful world and what it means to pay attention to all our relations. And her work is at its core. I met Carol Lee in the pages of this book, Weaving the Visions. Our essays are back to back. And when I read her essay, it was like balm to my soul, because I was one of the most radical activists, constantly critical of every form of oppression, and then I became a mother. And I had a child who met the world with such grace and beauty. Her name was Zoe, and I didn't know how I could hold both the beauty that Zoe saw in the world, and yet my deep anger and pain and rage at all the forms of injustice. Carol Lee described how to do that. In her essay, New World Tribal Communities, she said that all of us, Euro-American, African-American, can learn from the wisdom of grounding ourselves in beauty. And in celebration of beauty, we have the resources to live for justice. When I moved to Missouri to be director of women's studies, one of my greatest joys was to find Carol Lee and Thomas were here living in Sedalia. And Carol Lee and I began teaching together. Every class that I taught on women and religion, she would do a session. Every class on multicultural education, she would be there. She's at the core of my writing. And now that I'm a provost of a Unitarian Universalist seminary, every Unitarian Universalist minister, their very first assignment is to read Carol Lee. To read animal,
Right on.
vegetable, mineral, and do a beauty
That's good for me.
to do a beauty walk of the community where they live, and we return to them again and again throughout their education. Her work changed my life. Her work has changed the life of hundreds, thousands of students. Her work will continue to change our lives.
Thank you.
Carol Lee, as you heard earlier, is still, will always be my second big sister. And I remember when my husband, her brother, took me to San Francisco before we were married, and he was very anxious for me to meet her. And we went to her house on Collingwood, and she wasn't there, so we laid down to take a nap. And I woke up to this wonderful, joyous laugh. Well, they look alike. I guess they'll be married forever. And it was many, many nights. I remember we would play guitars. We would, with Sue Carol and Miguel, a little bitty boy, and Paul. And it just, we were all sort of old hippies, and we had a great time. And she will be sorely missed. And I think probably one of the best things in my life was when she married my brother and became really part of our family, doubly. And yes, we will miss her very, very much. But what a legacy she left. She taught my son well, and she taught me well.
Okay, Carol Lee. No, we all feel her right now.
Mhm.
She's here. You know, I don't really have words. But she always had the words. She gave me some of the best advice in so many situations. I can
remember once I was really struggling who to hire. And she said, Kim, hire a young woman. I said, because we need to all be a mentor. And that was really good advice. I ended up hiring someone who was 16 years younger than me, and I had hired a woman who was 16 years older than me. And it was a pretty cool combination. It worked. But she always had such sage advice, even, for my kids. My boys called her their third grandmother. And she was a friend, but she was so much, I mean, she was really a friend and a mother and a grandmother and all those things that you described her as to most of us. She wasn't just one thing. And we celebrate her because, boy, she has so touched us and enriched us.